R.P. Singh joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Singh, thank you for joining us. A very, very disturbing update coming in after the attacks on the temples. Now we have the Indian Consulate as well that has come under attack from the Pro-Khalistanis, graffiti being put up, Pro-Khalistan flags also being put up.
Well, this is second such attack. Earlier it happened in London where they went and chanted slogan outside the Indian Consulate. Now they have vandalized tried to vandalize the place in Australia. But the fact is their objective is to create some sort of media grab. I mean, they are looking for that they should stay in news. For that. That's why they ongoingly doing this on ground. There is nothing which they have. There's no ground support they have in India. At least the people in India don't support Khalistan as a subject.
Okay. You know, previously as well, when the temples had been targeted, like you mentioned, back then as well, the appeal that had come in from the Indian community was to treat it as a hate crime. Okay, all right. Mr. Singh, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Let's get in more voices as well and an update as well on what's happening there currently, what the situation is like. In fact, let's go across to find out an update on what's happening there. Want to go across to Mr. Sharma? Please tell us what the situation is like. Ishan Moga, what the situation is like, the Indian Consulate now being targeted by the Pro-Khalistan groups. What are the details that the officials have revealed as of now?
So what I can tell you is that there was an attack, and not the first time this has happened. There have been several across Australia. First it was in Melbourne, then it was in Sydney, and now it's in Queensland. Now, these are the hate crimes, but the Australian government thinks it in a different way. They say that it's basically a multicultural society and they are open to such kind of things. No person has been arrested. That is what the initial information is. Every time the standard reply is that we condemn the incident, but no strong message has been sent out to these extremist groups. First, it was the Hindu temples which was vandalized in Melbourne, then in Sydney, and now you see the embassy. There's a Khalistani flag which has been raised there. What I can tell you is that the Indian community is really concerned about this security. They've raised up this issue with several government officials, even the Member of Parliament, and even the External Affairs Minister had raised up this issue with the Prime Minister of Australia. But since then, these incidents have been going on unabated. There's no stop to it. Now, earlier when this referendum was being held, there was allegation that the Six for Justice organization is funding this poll, and there was a Six for Justice organization is banned in India. It's a terror group. There was a letter written to the police, letter written to the authorities to stop it, but the authorities did not do anything. Now here, these incidents are going on. There has been hue and cry by the Hindu groups saying that it is a terror organization which is linked to the funding and whatever is being done across Australia. Now, what we can tell you is that the government of Australia has a different view to the whole scenario. They are trying to really make it an issue of multiculturalism and freedom of speech. They do not understand the gravity of the situation. That is what the allegation of the Hindu groups are. But as of now, no strong message has been sent by the Australian government, which is the cause of concern of the Indian community at large. I personally know several Indian community groups have written to the Member of Parliament and also to the Australian government to really seriously look into these activities, as they could be linked to the terrorist organization which are trying to really create a law and order situation across in India and also break peace between communities here in Australia.
Okay, all right. You spoke about the kind of concerns that the Indian community has mentioned because temples have also been targeted previously, Vishal. I want to understand from you any information that the officials have given on these particular targeted attacks that we are seeing here, because previously as well the demand from the Indian community had also been to treat it as a hate crime. In fact, the priest from the temple had also spoken about the fact that all this while no similar incidents have been reported previously. So this is completely unprecedented.
Yes, indeed. That is the issue. the Indian community has been saying that it's a hate crime, while on the other hand, the the government has a different view. They are saying it is a multicultural society. People should really look into the concerns of each other, and that is why no strong action has been taken. That is the concern of the Indian community at large here in Australia. What I can tell you is that this issue was raised by Mr. Jaishankar with the Australian Prime Minister, who had condemned the incident. The Australian police had also really gone out and met with the Hindu community people, tried to really make them understand the situation. But indeed, the grievance of the Indian community is that they feel unsafe. They are saying that the Australian government and the Australian authorities are not understanding the gravity of the situation, because these Khalistani groups are being backed by SFJ, Six for Justice, which is a banned organization which has been providing a lot of funds. If you see the referendum which was held in Melbourne, now in that referendum, hundreds of dollars were really spent on the marketing and also the promotion of the whole event. Now, this money came from a terror organization. This was raised with the organizers and also with the Australian government, but no action was taken. After that, what happened was the Indians were beaten up with their Indian flags, and mandir after mandir, and now here you see the embassy being targeted where the Khalistani flag has been raised. And what we can tell you is that the flag has been taken down. The Queensland police is investigating the matter, but indeed a strong message needs to be sent by the Australian government to these pro-Khalistani groups so that these kind of incidents could stop here in Australia.
Absolutely, because, like you mentioned previously, and this was just in January when we had the attack on Indians who were just celebrating. They had the Indian flags with them and they were attacked by the pro-Khalistan groups, several of them, of the members, attacking them without any provocation whatsoever, begging the question whether they are being targeted and, the Indians are being openly targeted. The fact that the pro-Khalistani group is getting a free run there is because they have not been identified and because no action is being taken against them.
Yes, indeed, that is the cause of concern of the Indian community. They are saying that no strong action has been really sent to these pro-Khalistani groups. The Australian government is not taking a strong action. That is the allegation. But indeed, the Australian government has always condemned the incident. The police has been investigating the matter. What we know is that the police say that they have even booked people who were involved in the violence. They will not allow violence to be happen here in Australia. But indeed, what is happening is because there is no strong action in per se or to be seen. Now, if incident after incident is...
Right. Time and again such incidents are being reported, and beyond the outrage, on ground there doesn't seem to be enough action. And the question is whether this emboldens the pro-Khalistan supporters or not. Jay Jitharth, Editor-in-Chief of Australia Today, also joining us. Thank you for joining us. Jitharth, we just had a conversation a few weeks ago on the targeted attacks on the temples. And, we spoke about the fact that it should be treated as a hate crime. Australia saying that it is taking the issue very seriously. But now we have a target on the Indian Consulate that we're seeing in Brisbane today.
See, I find it kind of really bizarre. It was, we were seeing this when the authorities didn't bother about doing or taking any action when Hindu temples were graffiti, when violence happened on the streets of Melbourne, no arrest has been made. It's been almost 20 days. It was coming. Now these goons are kind of targeting different cities, and I suppose Brisbane Consulate is an honorary consulate. It was one of the soft targets, and they have done this. Authorities are somehow a little different in Queensland than Victoria. I'm told that they are taking it much more seriously, and reassurance have been given to honorary consul there. The community, one of the Hindu temple which was targeted in Brisbane, Gayatri Temple, police was present there on Mahashivratri on good number. They were taking rounds of the area. This is all good. But when we seek to have concrete action, when we kind of ask for arrests, when we ask for a deterrent for these kind of attacks and threatenings, that is missing. And the reason for this, what we are told is that these Khalistani goons or Khalistani supporters have kind of got inroads into the political system of Australia or different states. The local politicians, they kind of use them for muscles and money. Also, they
so there is a
fundraise
vote bank
for them,
to it as
and
well,
then,
which is why not enough action is being taken. That's what you're telling us, Siddharth. But look at the pattern as well. Every single time these targets have come very unprovoked, whether it was the Indians who are marching with the tricolour who were attacked by the pro-Khalistan groups, whether this is, the targeting of the temples as well, peaceful places that are being targeted time and again. Are they being emboldened by the fact that not enough action is being taken against them?